Hello everyone, my name is Vincent and I'm the pattern maker at Grainline Couture Patterns. And I want to welcome you to the new Grainline Couture Patterns YouTube video channel. And within this channel is going to have all kinds of tips and information and discussions about everything pattern making. Different methods, theories, techniques, we're going to have design projects, all kinds of things. So those will be all upcoming in future videos. But today we're going to discuss one pattern in particular, and it's model 1710, which is a basic waist sloper. A basic waist sloper is the pattern that is used to create other garments, other designs. And you use the basic sloper in conjunction with the flat pattern method of design, and you can create pretty much any garment that you want. So today we're just going to go over the different pattern pieces that are included with model 1710, and I'm going to show you how to put the pages together after they've been printed out. And then we're going to go over each piece individually, and I'll talk to you about all the different pattern markings and features on each pattern piece. So let's go. Okay, so these are the printed pages that you need to put your pattern together. Well, this one didn't print quite right, but that's okay because we're going to use the dashed lines to line everything up. So what I do is I cut away the left side border so that it can be lined up with the other page. So you're going to line up the two dashed lines. Tape down lightly, and then line these edges up. And I like to tape the pattern edges down right at the edge of where the line is, and then also tape down the edges here. And I put one in the middle. So that's how you put the pages together. So this is piece one, bodice front, and this is for a B cup. You'll notice on the first page, it tells you all the different pieces and which pages you need to print in order to have the correct pages to put everything together. This is a control square. You want to measure this control square because it should measure 2 inches by 2 inches. And that does, perfect. You always want to measure that because if that square is either too small or too big, it's going to have the same effect on your pattern. It's going to be too small or too big. So it should be exactly 2 inches by 2 inches. Alright, so you'll notice that all the fullness is combined into just one dart. It's much easier that way because then you can modify it later to create other darts in other areas of the bodice, depending on what your design is. So it's all into that one dart. That's the bust apex point. And this is the bust circle. All the darts, from whatever seam they originate, the point of the dart needs to be somewhere inside that circle. It can't be beyond out here. It has to be somewhere in there. These are lengthen or shorten lines. You would use them to lengthen or shorten the overall length of the pattern. So you would cut through those lines, slash them, and then either spread them apart or overlap them together to make it shorter or longer. This is the model number, the piece title, which is bodice front, B cup, side seam notch, armhole notch, which would match up with the sleeve, and the shoulder notch, which would match up with the shoulder dart on the back bodice. This is the grain line, center front, place on fold, which is signified by the arrows pointing towards the center. And piece number 2 is the bodice back. Model number, piece title, same lengthen or shorten lines. If you were to have used the lengthen or shorten lines on the front, you would want to do the same thing to the back bodice piece. And this is the center back. These are the center back notches. And this is the grain line. Now this is just a regular grain line. You'll notice there's only the one arrow. You could have the center back piece on the fold also. This is the back shoulder notch, the back shoulder dart, Sleeve notch for the armscye, side seam notch, which would match up with the front, and then there's also a waist dart. Piece number 3 is the skirt front. Skirt front has 2 waist darts, hip level line, lengthen or shorten line. You'll notice there's only one lengthen or shorten line on the skirt. This line is used to raise or lower the hip level only. So if you needed to raise or lower the hip level, you would slash through this line and then either spread or overlap to get the exact length you needed. All other lengthen or shorten modifications will happen at the bottom of the skirt. This line is only used to raise or lower the hip level. If you want to raise or lower the hemline, then you do that all at the bottom. Has the same center front place unfold grain line, model number and piece title, side seam notches, and piece number 4 is the skirt back, which also has 2 waist darts, lengthen or shorten line, hip level, center back notches, and you could do the same thing on the center back. This could also be placed on the fold of the fabric. Has the regular grain line signifying that there's a seam here. Piece number 5 is the straight sleeve. This also has lengthen or shorten lines. This one would be used to raise or lower the elbow level, and this line would be used to raise or lower the wrist line. Has notches to line up with the back armscye. This notch lines up with the shoulder seam, and this notch lines up with the front armscye notch. Piece number 6 is a fitted sleeve. This is a much tighter sleeve. There's not as much ease in it as in the straight sleeve. And it's also more contoured to the shape of the arm as it hangs at the side of your body. There is an elbow dart that helps contour it. It has an elbow level, same lengthen or shorten lines, back notches, shoulder notch, front notch, and this is the center sleeve. Piece number 7 is the bodice cup A front. It has all the same markings as the B cup bodice front. Piece number 8 is the C cup bodice front, which has all the same markings. Piece number 9 is the D cup bodice front. It also comes with a full bodice front, and this is very useful if each side is a little bit different. And this also comes in handy if your design happens to cut into the other side. It's much easier to create that design if you have a full front. It also has a full front B cup. That first full front was the A cup. It also has a full front B cup. There's a full front D cup. C cup. That was the C cup. This is the D cup. Full front D cup. And there's also a full bodice back. And this applies the same thing. It's much easier when your design crosses into the other side. And there's also a full skirt front. And there's also a full skirt back. Alright, so those are the 16 pieces included in Model 1710. So in the next videos, I'm going to be showing you how to use them. I'm going to show you how I use them. So I hope you're looking forward to that, so stay tuned, and that will be in the very near future. Alright, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.